The Augusta National Golf Club, Augusta, Georgia, home of the Masters Tournament, along with the United States Open, the British Open, and the United States PGA, one of golf's four most important championships. Over the years, the Masters, inaugurated in 1934, has acquired a flavor and distinction all its own. Held in early April each year, the first major championship on the calendar, the Masters has come to signalize the arrival of another spring and another golf season for sportsmen throughout this continent and Europe as well. Moreover, due to its selected field of foreign champions, the Masters is regarded by many experts as golf's outstanding international event. A large part of the tournament's tremendous appeal stems from the course, one of the most scenic and exacting in all the world. But at its heart, the Masters derives its character and charm from its host, Bob Jones, the great champion of the 20s, founder and president of the Augusta National, co-designer of the course. For all these reasons and others, the Masters annually attracts the largest and most exuberant galleries in golf. And almost as regularly, the tournament has supplied them with incredibly exciting finishes. Drama has come to be the hallmark of the Masters. Accordingly, there are few thrills in golf that can compare with receiving an invitation to compete in the Masters. This holds true for the game's established stars, but it has even a stronger impact, of course, when you're a young man like Bob Murphy and have just received your first invitation. A senior at Florida University, Bob earned his invitation to the 1966 Masters last summer when he won the United States Amateur Championship. 3 days before the start of the Masters, Bob Murphy arrives at the Augusta National and is taken in hand by Billy Joe Patton, who along with Charlie Coe and Charlie Yates, all of them club members, watches over the amateur contingent. Many a young golfer, who later went on to great fame, Jack Nicklaus for one, first played in the Masters as an amateur. Next, Bob Murphy is introduced to Clifford Roberts, co-founder of the Augusta National and chairman of the Masters since the tournament's inception. Roberts, who is about to make an inspection tour of the course, invites Murphy to join him.
Bob, this #1 green here is a good illustration of the rather severe undulations that you'll find on most all of our greens.
Yes, sir. Cliff, I don't believe that any golfer will win the Masters tournament unless he's a fine putter.
I agree with you about that, Bill. The first one to win here was an extraordinarily good putter, Horton Smith. But you didn't mention one other important element, which Horton was doing very accurately that year. He was placing his approach shots close to the pins, and that's just as important as being a good putter. Now, this is number 6, a par 3, 190 yards, and we think a pretty good hole. As a matter of fact, it happens to be the one where Billy Joe Patton made a hole-in-one in 1954.
Yeah, Cliff, I hit the wrong club.
I don't believe that, but I believe I remember that tournament. That was where Billy Joe was giving Sam Snead and Ben Hogan a run for their money, right?
You're right about that.
Cliff, I like this young man's attitude.
On the 12th, Roberts tells Murphy about the plaque on the Hogan Bridge commemorating Ben's tournament record low total of 274 in 1953. And at the far end of the green, the Nelson Bridge, commemorating Byron's sensational birdie on the 12th and eagle on the 13th that won him the 1937 Masters. Finally, the long 15th, where in 1935, Gene Sarazen fired the most spectacular shot in the history of golf. The 4 Woody holed out for a double eagle, too. It enabled Sarazen to tie Craig Wood, and he then won the playoff. After this inspection tour, Bob Murphy loses no time in getting to the first tee, eager to get onto the course and prepare himself for the 1966 Masters. Thursday, the day of the opening round. In addition to Bob Murphy, the starting field this year will include 24 other amateurs and 78 professionals, 103 players in all. A bright sunny morning, but a gusty wind is blustering over the course, and the Augusta National will present a difficult test today. Because of a long, dry, and windy period, the greens are very fast and hard to hold. As has long been a Masters tradition, the first pair to tee off will be Fred McLeod, number 83, age 83, and Jock Hutchison, number 81, age 81. This is Freddie, our National Open champion in 1908. As usual, a fine drive right down the middle. These two old boys just go on and on and on. Jock now, British Open champion in 1921. A nice controlled right-to-left draw, splitting the fairway. This year, the Masters again made golfing history as the demand for tickets far exceeded the supply. For the first time ever, the sold-out sign for a golf tournament was posted weeks before the event. There's a lot for the enormous galleries to watch. Veteran heroes like Byron Nelson, chipping here on the 6th hole. Ben Hogan, 53 years old but ageless, explodes on the 12th. Sam Snead, his beautiful swing as rhythmic as ever. And the squire himself, Gene Sarazen, 64 years old. Yes, a great deal to be seen. Champions from all over the world. In all, 24 stars from 11 foreign countries, including Michael Banalek, the British amateur champion, making his first visit. A fine iron to the difficult 12th. And another first-time visitor, Luis Silverio, the talented young amateur from the Philippines. At 11 o'clock, the first of the big guns prepares to tee off. Gary Player, the brilliant South African shot maker, British Open champion in 1959, Masters champion in 1961, PGA champion in 1962, United States Open champion in 1965. Gary, as usual, is dressed all in black, except for his white cap. Wearing a somewhat more colorful outfit, Doug Sanders, golf's reigning peacock. Doug, the hottest player on the winter tour, is dressed accordingly. The slimmed down Billy Casper. A solidly hit drive. At 12:30, Arnold Palmer, number 66 in 1966. Palmer won his 4 Masters in 1958, 60, 62, and 64. In this even-numbered year, he's hoping to make it 5 straight biennial triumphs. A good start, long and straight. At 1 o'clock, the defending champion, Jack Nicklaus. Last year, you will remember, Jack won by a record 9-stroke margin and posted a record low total of 271. He looks fit and ready. Did you see his left foot slip? A pull tee shot heading for the 9th fairway. Trouble already. By the way, with that strong wind sweeping over the course, scores are running high today. Hitting and holding the greens is very difficult. One man who really has a problem, Gary Player. On the 12th, he has buried his tee shot in the back wall of the sloping bunker. On the opposite side of the green, Ray's Creek. What a position. He's got it out well. He's got it onto the green. Great shot. He's actually holed it. And look at Gary. He's absolutely stunned. Later, he was to call this the most incredible shot of his entire career. Trouble of a different variety on the 12th. Doug Sanders' tee shot has trickled down the far bank and into the edge of the creek. Doug has removed 1 kumquat shoe and 1 vermilion sock, rolled up 1 tangerine pants leg, and now he's getting set to play. Oops, that would have been some cleaning bill. Doug has shifted his stance, and now it looks as if he's got everything under control. Out beautifully, a bit long, rolling to the back edge of the green, but under the circumstances, all he could hope for. Both a splendid recovery and an Academy Award performance. On this opening round, only one man has successfully coped with the wind and the hard, fast greens, Jack Nicklaus. Jack is 4 under par as he plays his approach to the 17th. Right on the stick. A solid par here, followed by another on the 18th. And Jack Nicklaus, with a superb 68, 4 under par, has gained a 3-stroke lead on the field. A word of explanation about the scoreboards. Red numerals denote the number of strokes under par a golfer is at that stage of the tournament. Green numerals, the number of strokes he's over par. A green 0, he's even par. This scoring system, inaugurated at the Masters, enables a spectator to take in at a glance the relative standing of the leaders at any moment. Friday, the day of the second round, another fine spring morning. The wind down a bit, but still gusting. Another capacity crowd of golf fans on hand, picking up their pairing sheets before moving to their favorite vantage points. Action on the second green. Jay Abear, who started with a 72, has a chance for a birdie, a 25-footer. Nothing lights a man up like holding a long putt. A fashion note. Sanders, like the wind, has quieted down, except for those powder blue shoes. Today's outfit, white ducks and blue accessories. Action on the 15th. Tony Lima, looking for a birdie, pitches over the water hazard before the green. Change that. Even for the best, golf's a humbling game. Jack Nicklaus, one of the early starters, is the focus of attention today. No Masters champion has successfully defended his title, but Jack has given every indication he means to shatter that tradition. He's bunkered here on the par 5 second, but nothing to worry about. 3 to get down for his par. That's not a good shot for Jack. He's almost put it into the right-hand bunker. A 23-footer, slightly uphill. He didn't hit that putt firmly. A good 2.5 feet short. Jack Nicklaus takes his first bogey of the tournament. He looked very wobbly on this green. A half hour later, Arnold Palmer comes to the second and prepares to play his second shot. After an opening 74, Palmer's got a lot of ground to make up on Nicklaus. 6 big shots. From his position on the left side of the second fairway, Arnie will be playing an intentional hook. The hook's taking all right, too much in fact. And the ball's heading right for the bunker, guarding the green. Just about the same bunker shot Nicklaus had. A well-executed explosion. Sitting down about 14 feet from the hole. This for a birdie 4. He's got it. And Palmer's cut 2 shots off Nicklaus's lead. An hour later, Palmer plays his approach to the 7th, a short par 4. He's using a pitching wedge. Oh, it's going to be a beauty. Arnie is really whipping it up. He's just birdied the 6th. If he can drop this birdie putt, he'll be only 2 shots behind Nicklaus. He's really moving this morning. 3 under par now for the day, lengthening his stride off on one of his old-time charges. Another birdie by Palmer on the 8th. A bogey by Nicklaus on the 11th. And now Palmer has caught Nicklaus. He's made up 6 shots by playing the first 9 in 32. Palmer comes to the 13th, a 475-yard par 5. After a long drive around the corner, he's hit only a 5-iron, but it's hanging out there right. Plummets into the creek before the green. Palmer's dash has come to an abrupt halt. Up ahead on the short 16th, Jack Nicklaus. A lovely iron, coming down just to the left of the flag. Tee to green, Jack's golf has been first-rate today. But after that shaky performance on the second green, he's 3-putted 3 more times. A tough breaking 16-footer here. Sliding about 3 feet by. This is exactly the sort of putt Jack has been missing all day. He's missed that one too. Jack Nicklaus is now back to even par, and this Masters is once again a wide-open tournament. Late in the afternoon, Peter Butler's name goes up on the boards showing the leaders, second line across. Butler, a young Englishman, one of the 8 British Ryder Cup stars in this Masters, has mounted a serious challenge. Through the 16th, he's 1 under par for the day and for the tournament. On the 18th, though, a spot of trouble for Butler. He's bunkered his approach. Oh, you can't play a bunker shot any better than that. Well holed, a fine 71 for Peter Butler, and a tie for the lead at the halfway mark with Paul Harney, one of the earliest starters, who brought in a great 68, the only round under 70 today. A stroke behind the leaders, January, Sanders, Rosberg, Palmer, and Nicklaus. Palmer after a 70, Nicklaus after a 76, his highest round in the Masters since 1959. Incidentally, the 36-hole cut came at 153. 64 players, including Bob Murphy, and 9 other amateurs survived the cut. Saturday, the day of the 3rd round. Spectators are arriving early, and there's a definite sense of anticipation in the air. It's another beautiful day for golf. The 3rd in a row. The sun a bit warmer, the wind down to a whisper. But a hard-wearing day for Paul Harney is for all men burdened with the lead in an important championship. A poor chip to the first after missing the green. A long putt back for his par. And as quickly as this, Harney is out of the lead on his way to an eventual 76. How is Peter Butler, the co-leader, faring? Much the same story. Here on the 9th, a very good chip, but he has already lost 4 shots to par. Make that 5. No such pressure on the other players in the field, and putts are falling all over the premises. Terry Dill on the first holds for a birdie. John January bags a birdie on the 13th. Young Ray Floyd, who's playing a strong tournament, gets into the act. On the 10th, a vision in green, Doug Sanders, who else, lines up a 21-footer. Doug, that was sensational. You're welcome. To top it all off, Mike Suchak on the 16th comes within an inch of holding a 570-footer. But today, one twosome in particular is the cynosure of all eyes. Ben Hogan is paired with Arnold Palmer, the old emperor with his successor. On the 5th, the long par 4, Hogan plays his approach. He'll be on, but with that pin set to the back of this huge undulating green, Ben has a monstrous putt left. One of the largest galleries in the history of golf is watching this dramatic confrontation. At each green today, Ben Hogan received a standing ovation, one of the most exceptional tributes ever paid to any golfer. Unprecedented, in fact. Quiet now. Hogan putting. It looks very good. That's how Ben used to putt when he was winning championships. Jack Nicklaus, playing 2 pairs ahead of Hogan and Palmer, is off on another spurt today. Back in the lead again as he putts on the 10th. A chance for another birdie. Perfect. Once again, the field is chasing Jack Nicklaus. Palmer and Hogan arrive at the 10th. Hogan now trailing Nicklaus by 6 shots. Palmer 4 shots back. They'll have to get moving quick. Hogan playing his 3rd, a chip from off the front edge, 45 feet from the cup. Nice and crisp. If it's long enough, it could be in the hole. And did you hear this gallery explode in appreciation of that sensational shot by Ben Hogan? Up ahead on the 13th, Tommy Jacobs paired with Bill Casper. Jacobs, 2 under par for the distance, has a crack at an eagle 3. Breaking in. And that eagle puts the 31-year-old Californian into the thick of the battle. Even par for the tournament. For Jack Nicklaus, the scoreboard informs us, has just double bogeyed the 12th. This is a confounding tournament. The moment a player takes the lead, the next moment he falters. And that really tightens things up. For example, Ben Hogan, after birdieing the 11th, is only 2 shots off the pace now. Hogan playing his 2nd, a 4-wood to the long 13th. He hits the green beautifully, 50 feet above the cup. A touchy downhiller. Almost hold it. 3 birdies in 4 holes. From this point in, Hogan's game lost some of its fine edge. And what a thrilling exhibition of shot-making the old champion provided. And what about Nicklaus? He's settled down again. Widened his lead to 2 strokes with 3 holes left to play. Can he hold it this time? A par on the 16th, but here on the 17th, he's bunkered his approach. An indifferent recovery, and Jack loses 1 stroke of his lead. On the 18th, a drive sliced into the pine woods, off the right edge of the fairway. An approach that must be punched low to keep it beneath the overhanging branches. Jack's hooding a 5-iron. Looks like Jack has pulled off a terrific shot. No, it's kicking to the left, rolling down the bank. At length, another bogey, and Nicklaus loses the 2nd stroke of his lead. As he walks off the home green, Jack musters a smile. A consoling handshake from his father, Charles Nicklaus. Lots to think about. Another day of wasted chances. Late in the afternoon, a new name goes up on the scoreboards, Gay Brewer. 4 consecutive birdies on the back 9 have brought him from nowhere into the rim of contention. Brewer, 3 over par for the tournament now, approaches the 18th. A low-flying 9-iron bounces past the pin, and Gay will have a 13-foot birdie putt. Would you believe an 8-foot birdie putt? Dead in the center. That's the way to finish a round. With 18 holes to go, the 1966 Masters remains a wide-open tournament. No less than 7 players are bunched within 3 strokes of the co-leaders, Nicklaus and Jacobs. It should be very exciting tomorrow. They all can win it. By the way, on this 3rd day, not a single round below 70. Even without any wind, the course did not yield the low scores that were expected. Sunday, the morning of the climactic fourth round. An ideal spring day in Georgia and no wind. In the midst of the activity on the clubhouse terrace, seated under the trees, a group of players' wives and friends. Shirley Casper, Connie Venturi, Carol Lee Brewer. For the time being, grass widows. Shortly after 1 o'clock, Tommy Jacobs prepares to tee off. A handsome, poised young man. Down the center, Jacobs' co-leader Nicklaus will be playing just behind him, paired with Hogan. Out on the course on the second green, putting the wisteria and azaleas to shame, Doug Sanders in his Sunday best, working on a long putt for his par. Sweet it is. Palmer, paired with Brewer, comes to the par 5 second. Arnold lies 3 in that greenside bunker. There's a wonderful explosion shot. 8 feet. Brewer's on in 2 after hitting the green with a long 4-wood. A 35-footer for his eagle. A good sound putter. No, it's breaking off. Gay will take that birdie, though. Palmer, an 8-footer to rescue his par. Palmer, 2 strokes off the pace. Brewer, only 1. An hour later, and now we've got a real traffic jam going. Nicklaus has dropped a shot to par. Palmer has picked up 1. Brewer has picked up 2 in all, and he's moved into a tie for the lead with Jacobs. Here's Jacobs now, a pitching wedge to the 7th. It looks a shade too strong. And rolls over onto the back fringe. A ticklish shot downhill, and Jacobs is using his putter. He's left himself a 5-footer. Tommy's 7th consecutive par. Hogan and Nicklaus come to the 7th. Hogan only 2 shots off the pace, hoping to close the gap with a birdie. Way past. Ben hasn't been putting well today, and he must stay in the running. 3 costly putts. Ben appears a little too weary to sustain his magnificent challenge. Up ahead on the 9th, Gay Brewer. A 9-iron, landing on the front part of the green. Running up into birdie range. After Palmer has putted out for his par, Brewer lines up his 9-footer. This putt for the undisputed lead. Yes, sir. And Gay Brewer moves out in front. Brewer comes to the perilous 11th. Water guarding the green on the golfer's left. He's not playing it safe. He's going right for the pin, drawing the ball in toward the hazard. A brave attacking stroke. 30 feet from the pin. A bid for another bird. A beautiful try. This 34-year-old veteran of the tour is playing the tournament of his life. Brewer leads Palmer by 1 shot, Nicklaus by 2, Jacobs by 3 in this very exciting Masters. A half hour later, Jacobs, still trailing by 3 shots, plays his 3rd on the long 13th, a sand wedge. Tommy's got it right on the flag. He's put it dead. Two shots back on Brewer now. Tommy Jacobs, cool and determined and driving. On the next par 5, the 505-yard 15th, Jacobs is over the water hazard in 2. A difficult chip. How he'd love to pick up a birdie here. That isn't going to do it. It's going to be short. about 20 feet short. A good-looking stroke. Jacobs is now only one shot back of Brewer. Things are really popping all over. Nicklaus, playing just behind Jacobs, has birdied the 14th and 15th. And Jack comes into the 16th only one shot off the lead. Beautiful tempo on that swing. A nice, crisp 5-iron. Sitting down softly 25 feet from the pin. After an up-and-down tournament, Jack's mounting a great stretch drive. It looks awfully... No, it just slid by the right corner. Close. Moving up the 18th fairway, hemmed in by a colossal gallery, Brewer and Palmer. Brewer still holding that slim one-stroke lead over Jacobs and Nicklaus, right behind him. Barring a miracle, Palmer is out of it, though, 2 shots back. On the last 9 holes, his putting has let him down. Brewer, a 9-iron, critical shot. The line is good, but it's going to be a trifle strong. Bounding up the slope, 60 feet past the pin. Very slippery down this slope. He's judged the speed perfectly, but the ball is breaking off to the left and finishing 7 feet from the cup. No question about it. This 7-footer is the most important putt of Gay Brewer's career. He's missed it by a fraction of an inch. A cruel break for Gay Brewer. And that bogey 5 on the home green opens the door for Jacobs and Nicklaus. At this very moment, Jacobs is driving off the 18th. He's sliced it badly. It's headed for the pines on the right. Ricochets back toward the tee and onto the fairway. Jacobs second, 230 yards from the flag, all uphill to a small target. A full-blooded wood, carrying the front bunker, landing at the flag and holding very well. A marvelous golf shot, especially at a crucial moment like this. It trickles back 20 feet from the hole. What a moment. This putt can win it all. 2 putts for a tie. And Tommy's disappointment is clearly evident. Absolute quiet here. A great 4. Jacobs has tied Brewer. Meanwhile, on the 17th, Jack Nicklaus, needing 2 pars to tie for the top, crouches over his approach, 140 yards out. A high soaring pitch, hopping right for the pin. And 3 feet away. Jack Nicklaus has come through with a fantastic pressure shot. If he can hold this short birdie putt, he can win this tournament. Boy, that broke off quickly. Jack has wasted a great opportunity. 18th tee, a 420-yard par 4. Jack must get his par here to tie Brewer and Jacobs. Pulled it a bit, but no real trouble. A 9-iron from the rough on the left. Jack must be sure to carry that front bunker. Here it comes. Flying over the top, bouncing up the slope, 40 feet from the hole. What great golf we've seen. Remember, 2 to get down for the tie. This tremendous gallery is completely hushed. It's taking the roll perfectly. I think he's holed it. centered the cup until the last 12 inches. Then it veered just a hair to the left. I think Jack thought he'd hold it too. What a finish that would have been. Correction. What a finish this has been. And what a remarkably thrilling Masters. Jack will tap in now for his 4. Tomorrow we will have some more golf. A 3-way playoff among Brewer, Jacobs, and Nicklaus. Their totals, 288, even par. The highest score in the Masters in a decade. But after the nervous strain of battling those heavy, gusty winds on the first 2 days, mighty good golf indeed. Monday, the afternoon of the playoff. Nicklaus has won the toss and he'll tee off first. Oh, Jack's hit one of his real boomers. Tommy Jacobs. Good tee shot. Gay Brewer enjoying his finest season. Nice live hand action. And another good drive. Jacobs on the first green going for a birdie 3. It falls, and Jacobs moves out in front. The short 6th, 190 yards. Jacobs still 1 shot ahead of Nicklaus, but 2 ahead of Brewer now. Tommy swinging very well. An accurate 5-iron coming down just past the pin, expiring 30 feet past. Gay Brewer now. A little to the right of the pin, the golfer's right. Just about hole high, 18 feet away. Jack Nicklaus. Boy, he hits those irons sweetly. He'll be on, too, about 20 feet past the hole. Jacobs, a tricky downhiller. No, slipping offline. A 3 for Tommy. Nicklaus, he's had the advantage of going to school on Jacobs' putt, as they say. Deucing the par 3s. Brewer, he's been unsure on the greens today. Never close. Brewer went on to miss a succession of short putts, and by the turn, he had fallen 3 strokes behind Nicklaus and Jacobs. On the 11th, Nicklaus. Jacobs has bogeyed the 10th. Nicklaus leads by a stroke. Wonderful timing on that shot. And a wonderful shot to this intimidating green. Call it 25 feet. This for a birdie 3, slightly uphill. Rolling right for the cup. He's holding. That really changes the complexion of things. Nicklaus now holds a commanding 2-stroke lead on Jacobs. And down the stretch in the gathering twilight, Jack maintains that lead, hitting one beautiful iron after another, such as this one to the 16th green. And this one to the 17th green. This is the 3rd time Jack has held the lead in the tournament. And this time he seems to be in a most determined mood. As they come to the 18th, Nicklaus still holds that 2-shot lead on Jacobs, really getting dark now. Oh, he's pulled his approach badly. The ball's kicking down the bank into the spectators. And here finally is an opening for Jacobs. A very tense moment. Jacobs lies 2 on the front apron 35 feet from the cup. If he holds and Nicklaus takes 3 to get down, oh man. Jack's decided to putt the ball up that sharp bank. Up the bank, onto the green, rolling for the hole, stopping 7 feet away. Just the shot Jack wanted to play. Everything rides on Jacobs' putt. To gain a tie, Tommy must hole, and Jack must miss. Just broke off before the cup. A gallant try by Tommy Jacobs. Nicklaus can take 2 putts now and still win. Yes, Jack Nicklaus finishes in great style. A 70, 2 under par for Nicklaus. A 72 for Jacobs. A 78 for Brewer. Here in the gloaming, one of the most dramatic of all Masters championships has come to an end. It is a Masters tradition for the previous year's champion to help the new champion into the green jacket, emblematic of victory. Having become the first player ever to score back-to-back victories in this great event, Jack Nicklaus helps himself into his green jacket, flash bulbs exploding in the darkness. Jack's enjoying every moment of the presentation, but none quite so much as a commendation from Bob Jones for the high quality of his golf, en route to his 3rd victory in the Masters. And all this at the age of 26.